What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Casey, and I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys going over my most recent setup for GPS, maps, and technology, I guess, in my Jeep. I've made a few changes recently with how I'm utilizing the technology in my Jeep, as well as added a new device. So I'm going to quickly walk you through how I have everything set up and how I've achieved what I think is my perfect setup at the moment. So the way that I have this set up today is for two different driving setups. One, whether I'm on the road or highway and we're on the road trip portion of a trip, or just general driving. And then there is how I utilize this technology when we're off-roading. But at the core of everything, we have still a 67 Designs rail mount that is mounted to the dash. They make a kit that's for the JL and the JT, and it involves a couple screws and some 3M tape. And then you have a nice spot to be able to mount some of their arms so that you can start mounting devices. Now, I want to keep this setup very clean and simple, so I've really minimized things that are attached to my dash. But the focal point here is the one arm that I have set up to mount devices to. Now, right now I have an iPad mini set up, and this is how I would have things set up if I were to be going off-roading. I am going to run my onX off-road maps on my iPad mini. It gives me a nice large screen, as well as it's touch screen and very responsive, so I can do whatever I need to when I'm looking at trails, marking trails, or changing what maps I'm using while I'm off-road. And then on my dash screen, I'm going to have that connected up to my phone using Android Auto. What I'm going to have on here is a secondary app for maps. If we're heading somewhere and I've got my iPad connected already, I'm going to be running something like Google Maps on here, because I find for on-road navigation, Google Maps is excellent. When it comes time to hitting the trail and doing some off-roading, I'm going to actually switch over to a second instance of onX Off-Road. So now I can look at where I'm going at a high level, or maybe we're going to switch this over to a three-dimensional view and let us see elevations, mountains, and things like that. Then down below, I'm going to keep this map zoomed in tight to see where my actual location is on the trail. This really helps me with not missing any turnoffs or points of interest that we're coming up on. I'm just not going to zoom this in at the moment because it'll show where I live. And then the other thing that this is going to help me with is, yes, my phone is connected for Android Auto so that we can use onX Off-Road on this screen. But if I grab my phone and disconnect it from there to maybe take photos or shoot some video with it, I still have my main screen up that we're using for mapping and tracking where we go. So it's nice to have both, because the big problem that I was running into before is every time I would grab my phone to go take a photo or video, I'd have to disconnect it from Android Auto, and then I would lose the maps on the screen. And so I'm constantly having to jump back in the Jeep and plug my phone back in. So this dual setup, running the application twice, works really well, because we've always got our maps ready to go, and I can disconnect and reconnect my phone as needed and not worry about not being able to see where I am if I didn't reconnect it. So the other thing that's really nice about the way I have this set up is I can quickly grab my tablet off of the quad lock mount. So I've added a quad lock case to my iPad mini, and I have a quad lock mount attached to my 67 Designs arm. And so it allows me to quickly and easily grab my tablet off of the mount, and then I can take this out and show somebody else the route. So I can walk around with this, or I can bring it in the house and use it for some route planning. So it's super easy and quick to detach. Now, when I'm not off-roading and driving, I also have a quad lock mount attached to the back of my phone, and I can quickly and securely attach it to the quad lock mount with a quick twist. So this is how I would set up for the road trip portion of my trip. We can have Android Auto on here. We can open up Google Maps. We can see the music that we might be playing, and I can utilize Google Maps for turn-by-turn navigation. Now, the only kind of caveat with this whole setup is, because we don't have any wireless Android Auto or CarPlay, we do have to physically attach a USB cable to this setup to be able to use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in our older model Jeep. But the other cool trick with this is this quad lock mount that I have is actually a wireless charger. I don't always use Android Auto, but it is nice to have my phone always charging when I connect it up to the quad lock. So I can connect up, it starts charging. And if I don't need Android Auto, I can bring up Google Maps and get some turn-by-turn navigation without any cables or cords or anything like that going up to my dash. So it's super clean, super simple. The phone connects with Bluetooth, so we get music. We can bring up Google Maps for driving if we don't need it on the big screen for turn-by-turn navigation. And then when we hit the trail, we can easily swap our phone out and put our iPad there. Now, the iPad doesn't support wireless charging. However, they have really good battery life, so you can pretty much go most of your trip without any cables connected to this and just use your USB-C cable to charge your phone. But if you have a newer iPad and you want to charge it, well, you can just plug it in to the bottom and it's going to start charging. Now, this whole setup works really well with just about any map application, as long as it supports Android Auto or Apple CarPlay off your phone. But the tablet doesn't support either of those, so you can run your maps in a large format on the device. Doesn't really matter. But if you're interested in checking out Onyx Off-Road and giving it a try, they do have a free trial. And if you enjoy it and want to upgrade to their premium membership or elite membership, you can get 20% off by using the code KC250. Quick little video for you guys. I'm going to suggest a couple other videos you might want to check out right here. My name's Casey. Hit that subscribe button. Leave me any questions down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.